This is the schematic design phase that we had in our project. I'll just update you guys on the schematic design phase. This is the updated site plan that I already came out with. I have my little 3D image that I have popping out showing it 1 inch equals 60. So how the building would actually lay on the site on paper. So this is like the character sketches of how I wanted the building to be portrayed. The materiality isn't really there, kind of default-ish stock items. So it's I still have to explore on that kind of field, but it's kind of going to be similar because the material is going to be concrete and it's going to be a steel structure within the concrete. So it's going to be a little bit similar. I was thinking, since it's in Lima, Peru, and it's a culture center, including those fountains they have in the Parque de los Aguas, as they call it, or the water park as we would call it. These water parks that have color that you could walk into, see screens off of. So I was thinking of having it adjacent triangles to the center one, and having it, pop out as red triangles off the white concrete as it is, resembling the flag, but in a more minimalistic, simplistic type of form. Down to the floor plans. So the entries of the floor plans you can see on this egress and fire safety one that I created. There's a bunch of egress and circulation and access points to the building and the main building and the other buildings too. The building kind of is categorized as 3 different types of buildings. So there's the main gathering space building that you can see, the biggest one, full of galleries, auditoriums, presentation spaces. It's a gathering type of assembly categorized occupancy that's going to be in that building. And then so the other building to the left of it is going to be a type of business and mercantile category of occupants. So it's going to have stores, like commercial stores, commercial cafes, and it's going to have offices for all the service for all the other buildings. So on the more private part of that little structure is going to be the service of for the offices for the service people. The other building to the right of it is going to be the more educational side, so it's going to show a bunch of studios. It's going to have a bunch of classrooms, presentation room, be able to present what you study, and it won't be like that in depth as like going into a college or going into a school. It would just be probably like a couple times a week or something. You go there and you learn, about the area, or probably every day they'll have a new entry on something. So that's just an idea that I have right now, and how, to educate the person, whether it be a tourist or whether it be a local coming into Lima, Peru, and having that said. And but I did a bunch of code analysis. You can see here. So the International Building Code is talking about the type of assembly, the type of construction, occupancy, egress, access, all that. And then I did specifications and notes, and also added on to a evolution diagram that I have. You can barely see it, but I did it coming from a square to forming the 3 triangles and the sustainable diagram, including the insulation, the passive windows, air tightness, thermal abrasion, reducing design, and adequate ventilation, all the strategies. The formation of the triangles and the shape and the form of how I created this, relating it back to the Machu Picchu mountains and even the Andes Mountains that you can see in the back here, that's in Lima. It crosses through Lima, crosses through the whole country of Peru, and representing those mountains in a vast form. In a way, Peru is indirectly representing a bunch of mountains, because they have cliffs everywhere, where the beaches are, where the desert is, where the jungles are, and obviously where the mountains are themselves. So I wanted to represent that in the cultural center, representing the formation. So having those 3 mountains and having the main one pointing to the Andes Mountain. A little character sketch of the atmosphere of how the interior would be like. So having a little entry space in the middle, scattering along the walls of the building, representing Peru. And then I also did the Sapphire analysis of how the building performs and the EUI of the building, how I got it down to KBTU to 17, and the type of PV system that I'll have, connecting AC to DC and putting into a power supply and being most efficient with that. And then that's pretty much everything I got. And I also have the elevations, which are pretty simple. They're not really that in depth. They're just pretty simple elevations of the forms, because they're monolithical, simple structures, but make a big impact and a big type of iconic stamp to Peru and how it's known for. But yeah, that's overall how it is. That's what's going on in the schematic design. This is the current phase we're on. We already presented that, and I have to make some minor adjustments to the design as the professors critiqued me. Take the criticism, take that into consideration, and do that in the further design development.
I didn't record that much this phase of my process, but I got the site model in, and as the project came to, we were introduced that we had to do a gallery or exhibition for our projects that we've done in the past. So like a senior display, or what we individually thought was our best projects, and then we had to update the posters and get them all to equal size and all that. So and edit the project if necessary. So I chose the City National Bank. As you can see, all the senior class was laid up on the wall. While upon that, me and Declan were helping the club, and we put Ask Me flags on our desks. If anyone had a question, Brandon usually had all the questions, so we usually helped them out the most. After that, we had to present the semifinals for the solar decathlon. In the solar decathlon, the sustainable competition throughout all colleges around the world, and we've actually been building up slowly on this project. And it was a group of 6 or 7, including other people, but only the 4 of us could present. We presented in the library. This is obviously it's Harrison, David, me, and Declan. And this is us during the presentation. Miss Gehring just wanted to take a picture of us while we presented.
During the phases of the schematic design, they had a career fair. So me, Declan, and David went to the career fair, and then we saw, what the professional field was like, what the work was like, what they had, what the benefits were, and all that. And we see what fit us the most. We didn't find any jobs at the career fair, but they did provide a lot of jobs that anyone could just easily grab. But we found better jobs. I found the job that is in New York. Declan found a job around where he lives, and Grant ended up going to graduate school. So we're just there to get experience of what jobs are like and what to expect.
And just to drop it in quick, I cut my hair during this phase, and I also made a 3D print of the City National Bank. As you can see here, the 2 perspectives that I took. So it's all black. I was planning on coloring it and presenting it during the gallery. And then we all went out to eat food, and so you can see us. We're just having a good time. And then you can peep Grant in the back. So yeah, and Sven and my girlfriend also stopped by, and she hung out with me. We watched movies, eat, and had fun. And then just to end it off with my final schematic poster and my layout, my printout.
Stay tuned as the next part is going to come out, and we'll see you later. Like and subscribe.